Hello fellow naturalists, Austin here. Hope you're doing well. I just want to say that I didn't think a naturalist could come in very handy during the COVID-19 crisis. The real heroes for me are healthcare professionals, people like my wife who are working hard to make this as painless as possible. So thanks for all that you're doing. But I am getting requests from people who are going to the grocery store and not finding toilet tissue. And they say, Jenkins, you know, what if I have to go out into my yard or into the woods to handle my business? What kind of plants, what kind of leaves can I safely use to wipe my rear end with? Well, that's inspired me to put together this segment that I'd like to title Botany for Your Bottom. So I'm out here in my backyard, and I think one of the best ways to start this out is to talk about species we should stay away from, that we don't want to utilize for wiping our rear ends. And the first upon my list would be poison ivy. So I can understand why this is attractive. It grows on the tree that you might be leaning against while you're doing your business. Also, the average American uses 3 squares of toilet tissue per wipe. Did you know that? And so when you're out here and you look to the side, there's a nice little assemblage of 3 leaves, just like the 3 squares, right? Makes total sense. But no, this guy's bad news has a toxic chemical that will ruin your day, your week, perhaps your month, and life is already stressful enough. So leaves of 3, let it be. Now growing right beside poison ivy here is Virginia creeper. Leaves of 5, let it thrive. So this often gets accused of being poison ivy, but this one is safe and sound. But if you're confused about the difference, best to avoid any of the vines that are growing next to the tree that you might be using. Okay, so I'm standing in front of one of my favorite trees. This is a southern magnolia, and it's utilized a pretty good bit for wiping the hiney, mainly because it's ubiquitous and very prevalent across southern landscapes, but also because it has beautiful contours that really match the bum in a perfect way. Little green lynx spider down here, I'm going to leave him alone, but as you can see, there's a nice little midrib that fits nicely into the place where the sun doesn't shine, and then these nice little contours fit well around the cheeks. And the bottom of the leaf is also pubescent, so it's in the fairly absorbent category of leaves for wiping the rear end. It's rather unfortunate that southern magnolia is not already blooming for us, because the flowers are fantastic. They're bright, they're big, they're beautiful, they're fragrant, they smell fantastic. One of the best smells of the summer, in my opinion. And so they can be utilized for toilet tissue. I actually know people that wipe their heinies with southern magnolia blossoms just for maintenance purposes. Another species that's one of my favorites is eastern redbud, and this is it right here. This is just a little sapling, so it's just starting to grow, but this species is going to get 10 or 15 feet tall. It's an understory species, but it's down low, so you can access it when you're leaning against a tree and doing your thing. It's known for having these nice little heart-shaped leaves, so this leaf is going to get about twice this size, which makes it a really nice leaf if you have like a splatter situation. You know what I'm talking about? Because you can take this leaf, you can turn it upside down, and it'll wrap around the cheeks really nicely and kind of give you some coverage that you might not have with other species. I'd also put it in the very absorbent category, so that's another good thing about it. Definitely a go-to species if you're doing your business in the backyard. Eastern redbud. So I'm out in our garden now, and this is probably the best place to collect materials for yourself when you want to find something to wipe your bum with. We have lettuce here, we have kale, we have collards. Behind me is curly kale, which is very soft and cushiony. Most of these are fairly absorbent, and in general, if they're safe enough for you to consume, they're usually safe enough for you to touch your skin with. So I recommend growing a garden. Definitely want to go defecate in a different location, but you can always stop by the garden, collect the materials you need, and then move into the bushes. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning today about botany for your bottom. And now that I'm making this out, I realize there's probably many other species that you're going to interact with in your yard that I haven't addressed. And so please feel free to email me with any questions that you may have. And in the meantime, please remember that you finding something to wipe your rear end with is probably a very small matter compared to the perils that so many are facing right now. So please stay safe, stay healthy, so that we can move past this crisis sooner than later. I'm wishing you all the best.